You see, it was as much a miracle for Job to get in trouble as it was for us to get out of trouble. Why? Because Job is walking in principle. And as long as he's walking in principle, it will take a miracle for the enemy to get in. The miracle was that God removed the hedge. And he removed the hedge in order to give Job a revelatory experience that he couldn't have had if he was sequestered in the hedge. Let me put another way. Can I work just a minute? We go shout after a while, but I got to work. I got to have something to shout about. Now, Jesus is a friend of Lazarus. He's a friend of Martha, and he's a friend of Mary. And they're friends. And John in chapter 11, allow me the digression. In chapter 11, it spends the first 6 verses trying to show us just how close Jesus was to this family. And yet still, when they were sick and the word was sent to Jesus, he just didn't go. You know, can I talk a little bit, pastors? Let me talk, pastors. Now most of us who have churches of God smiled on us, we got a few members. We generally have a staff of ministers who go to visit the sick. And you know, they go to visit the sick. And I look at it as, here I am, the body of an octopus, and all of the people who serve with me are my tentacles. And so you send somebody over to visit one of your members, and they go over there, and the first thing they ask is, did the pastor call you? Come on, man. The reason I sent you over there is to represent me. Now, why are you going over there starting some stuff, asking the sick, did I call? You are my phone call. You represent my visit. You know how it is when people don't respond, when leaders don't respond when people are sick. That's why Martha said, if you had been here, my brother would not have died. Wrong. I have allowed the enemy in the hedge because I only give revelation to my friends. I don't give revelation to my enemies. I only give revelation to my friends. And I chose you so that I might reveal to the world that I am the resurrection and the life. He that believeth on me, though he were dead, yet shall he live. And he that liveth and believeth on me shall never die. So I had to create a situation in order to give you a revelation. He created a situation for revelation and called it Jehovah Jireh. He created a situation for revelation and called it Jehovah Rophika. He created a situation for revelation and called it Jehovah Rabbah. He created a situation for revelation and called it Jehovah Sikkenu. And he's creating a situation for revelation in your life. And he says, when I create the situation, count it all joy, because I'm getting ready to take you to another level. I feel like preaching. I'm going to tell you, touch your neighbor 7 times. That's it. I'm not borrowing one yet. The trials then must be approached with joy based on the realization of what the trial is going to make you. You want to be anointed, but you're not just going to rub on somebody that's anointed and end up anointed. You're going to have to go through something. You're going to have to be broken a few times, just broken and just broken. If I break you twice, you can only feed 2 people. If I break you 3 times, you can touch 3. If I break you 40 times, you can touch 40. Well, some of us had to be broken a few thousand times in our lives so so that we might touch people of all sizes, of all types, of all kinds. So when I'm being broken, I must give God praise, because he doesn't break until he blesses. He has to bless you so you can take the breaking, so he can distribute you to many different people. So instead of complaining while you're going through, he says, count it all joy. I feel like preaching here. Where am I, Patrick? All right, good. It's critical here because it leads to patience. Y'all sit down. We got work to do. And patience completes us. It takes the edge off of being in a hurry about anything. So that's now why he says we glory in tribulations also. Because Satan, you're bringing it on thinking you're going to destroy me. But what you're going to end up doing is making me better. I will not be bitter, but I will be better. And that's why I give God praise for all of my enemies, because my enemies get me blessed. My enemies help to move me to the next level. My enemies help to uncover the weaknesses that I have, so that God can fortify the weaknesses because of my cognitive involvement in the move of God. Oh, God, give God thanks for your enemies. Your enemies just help you to find out who ought to be in your space and who ought to be eliminated from your space. That's what tribulation does. All trials do is help me to distinguish who is who in my space. Now you need to be reduced. You need to be increased. You need to be moved over there. You need to go over there. When I was going through something, you left me to go through by myself. You were with me on the Mount of Transfiguration, but you couldn't hang with me in Gethsemane. Now you were there when it was time for praise, but you didn't know when I lost my house. You know when I bought it, when we had the party, but you didn't know when I lost it. Oh, I didn't know you were going through all that. All tribulation does is help you to figure out who needs to be around you and who needs to be gone. That's all it does. It helps you to figure out who your friends are and who your enemies are. You know, sometimes you have people around you that really get envious when you're blessed. As long as you're complaining about what's going on in your life, oh, let's go to lunch. But let somebody call you and ask you how you doing. Oh, I'm doing fine. All right, see you later. You want to go to lunch when I'm hurting, but you see me later when I'm doing all right. I wish somebody would help me here. Oh, God. It's critical because he says, I want you now to glory. Catch your mind. And it really means to glory on account of a thing that is exalted because of something. Because God moves you to next levels in very scandalous, scandalizing from the Greek, where Paul says the preaching of the gospel is scandal. Offender in the Latin, very offensive, where Jesus says, blessed is the man who is not offended in me. And it's easy to get offended when your expectation and your experience don't come together. That's when you go double-minded, because I'm expecting something, but I'm experiencing something else. The prophet should have told us that we were going to experience financial decline in America.